Okay, so I just want to first off get some information in terms of your background, um, and who you are.
Okay. Well, of course, my name is Tanero Bryant, and um, I'm one of those people who you would call a serial entrepreneur. You know, I came out of college in 2003. I graduated from the University of Louisville. I went down there to play football, and from there, I got the opportunity to open my own company, and I birthed Auntie's Homemade Food.
What was your major in college?
My major in college was actually sport business and a minor in sports medicine.
And how'd you go from the sports business aspect to now what you're doing, and at any time did you get any experience from what you were doing at college to help you start your business up?
Yes, I mean it's actually kind of weird. You know, I never ever thought I would own my own food service company because I chose sport administration because I was an athlete. In order to be a sport agent, you had to go through the sport administration classes, and I got the opportunity actually to work with athletes when I did my internship. Um, I worked with a former bingo guy who had a sports management company where I would train players as well as talk to them about different services that other sports recruiting services offer. So I got a chance to actually it was fun, but once I got to a certain point, I realized that, which he didn't tell me, that you actually had to have basically some type of law degree to even do, sports management. I got into the food service actually because it was kind of weird how it happened. Um, I interviewed with a major pharmaceutical company. It was Pfizer actually that I interviewed with. They flew me up to Cleveland, told me I had the job. Because coming out of college, I said, you know what? I'll put my hand in there just to see, how it would go. So a couple of days go by, didn't see an offer. Week go by, didn't see an offer. So now I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I call him and I said, well, whatever happened to the offer or the position you said you had available to me? Didn't get an answer. Still to this day haven't got an answer. So I'm waiting on them to call me now. So yeah, I didn't get a letter. We changed our mind, any of that. So I was discouraged. I was mad about it, and that day, as weeks went past, I was just at home, because I'm like, well, I passed for all these jobs I could have had that wasn't paying as much money, but still coming out of college to have a job is valuable.
Right.
And I threw all my eggs in one basket, with the major company, and which it didn't pan out. So I happened to be at home one day, and Oprah had a show on about a lady who made a recipe for Quakers and sold it for like $3.8 million.
Wow.
I said, that's a nice chunk of change. So I didn't think anything of it. I didn't. I just watched it, and from there I just thought that was a lot of money for a recipe. So then the next day, and this is at a different time, I saw another show about cooking. They showed the guy who made the Dippin' Dots. He was some type of chemical engineer. He got fired from his job, and he was looking for a way to get some income. So he made them little bitty, small little ice cream balls, and then he made over like $212 million. So I said, that's pretty good. So then the third day, I saw another person who had did food, and I said, this must be a sign from God. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I said, 3 days, 3 different times. That's kind of crazy, and that's how I started. I said, what am I good at? And I said, cooking. I've been cooking since I was 7. That's how I came up with the name Auntie. My aunt showed me how to create food when I was young because she said she didn't want me to depend on a woman to cook for me. So that's how I learned how to cook. So I said, well, let me try this. I said, if people buy Stouffer's, they'll buy my product. So I wanted to create a high quality frozen entree. And from there, that's how Auntie's Homemade Food was born.
And so you first came up with the initial idea. Um, like, what did you initially like run into in terms of any problems or challenges when you first started up the business?
Well, the first problem I had was um, starting out. People doubt you and say, "Well, there's no way you're going to be able to compete with Stouffer's or any of those other major companies." It was always you know, you don't have a chance. Those are problems I ran into. I also ran into a problem by me being so young. That was a problem. I would always get asked, why you not out partying? Why you not out, drinking and having fun as a college student? I said, well, I did all that. I'm doing something totally different. So those were, I think, age as well as, I think race played a little bit of it, and the whole thing about how small I was.
Okay. So like obviously you were here in Cincinnati. Was the Cincinnati market perfect for your business? Would you prefer to be somewhere else, or like how did that fit in terms of knowing that Cincinnati was a place that you could flourish as a business?
Well, when I was in Louisville, I said, well, I don't have any resources here. I said, so let me move back home to Cincinnati. And the first thing that came to my mind was, where can I have a test market where I can see if my product is really good as people say it is. Opportunity came Finley Market. Finley Market, you have all levels of income. You have your rich all the way down to your lower level income. So I said, well, it's kind of like a melting pot. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, if I can do well here, I'm pretty much I'm good to go. So I opened the Finley Market location and built up a customer base, and it worked out perfect.
Okay. Like from the time how long have you been doing
this? Since 2004.
Like any creative ideas you came up with, like to make the business better, make it more marketable. Mm-hmm. Like what are some ideas you came up with, and are they current part of the program, yes, or did they not, or did they fail for whatever reason?
Yes, actually, to be honest, the three ideas I had, they all worked. The first one, creating a high quality meal. Second one, having a high quality meal that people can warm up. Third one, having a high quality meal that people can warm up and still have it being convenient. Those were the three things I wanted: high quality, fast, and convenience. Those were the things that I wanted, and all three of them worked because people work, they don't have time to worry about what they're gonna eat for dinner when they get home.
Okay. Any ideas in terms of like getting your food like in supermarkets, like Kroger's like huge here?
Yes. That's actually we're actually talking to Kroger now, currently. So I'm probably maybe a year or so away from actually accomplishing that goal.
So in terms of like, did you ever encounter any things that weren't working? You had to drop, or have you been pretty consistent?
It's been pretty consistent. The only thing that I did drop was I dropped a portion of the Philly market, because we started there in 04, mm-hmm, and it was just time to move on. So it worked at the time, but due to the crowds changing and stuff like that, it was pretty much time to move on.
How was your audience asking for you surveys, anything like that at all? Like, how did you know when was the right time to step away from the Finley market? Like, what
when we saw the numbers take a huge dip, yeah, when we would be able to look, when I would get calls from my workers and say, well, we ain't doing any sales today. We did a couple $100 today. That means something's wrong. The product's still excellent and still selling, but if no one's down there to buy it, what does that tell you? And if the whole market is empty, that's telling you something.